Hey guys, it's JD. Just a quick little thing before we start the show. Kyle and I are building a schedule for the show this year, and we could really use your help. On the screen and in the video description, there's a link to a Google Docs that we would really appreciate if you filled out. Basically, we want to know what kind of movies, new or old, that you'd like to see us review, what topics we should tackle for the podcast, or, any kind of new show we should try out. It really shouldn't take any more than a minute to fill out, but it would really help us out a lot. Our show really runs on feedback, and so knowing what you guys want us to do, really helps us, do more stuff. I don't know. It would just be a really big help. But that said, I won't hold you up. So enjoy the show. Hello everyone! Welcome to another Ink and Paint Club movie review on the Ink and Paint Club channel. My name is JD, and over there is Kyle.
I'm Kyle.
Yay, Kyle. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and say sorry this episode is so freaking late. I think we're at least 3 days behind at this by the time we're recording this.
All but two people care, so it's all good.
It's true, but those two people,
they're our best friends.
They're our diehard fans, right? Spiritually and emotionally. But no, the movie we're reviewing today, Justice League Dark, didn't come out till Tuesday, so and I really advocated to review this because I was pumped for it. Yeah. So, I think I might have told this story a couple weeks ago when we did our 2017 look ahead. But back when DC did its new 52 reboot thing, whatever, I really liked reading the Justice League Dark book because, I don't know, I don't have a lot of attachment to the characters exactly like ahead of time, but I like that dynamic of having all the magic characters are all together now, and Constantine and Zatanna and Swamp Thing and all those guys, and I don't know, I thought it was a cool concept, so I was kind of excited when they said, oh hey, we're making a movie based on those guys.
So why wasn't Shazam or Captain Marvel a part of that team if he's magic based? He's just part of the normal Justice League. Why is that? Because
he's not a dark magic character. Because you got Constantine who fights demons. You got Etrigan who is a demon. Swamp Thing's a swamp monster, and there's Deadman who's literally a ghost, and Zatanna deals in dark arts, I guess. That's my only guess. So yeah, we're talking about the new DC animated directed video movie. These movies aren't bad. They're usually pretty good. They're well animated. Story is
another story.
I'm gonna say up front, I like this movie, but it has some very glaring issues.
I feel the same way. It was right. Okay, but
yeah. So getting into this movie, I think this movie is a rated R movie, because if it's not, damn, they do a lot of things to just stress the fact that it's an R movie.
Yeah. Because,
the beginning of this movie just starts with 3 separate instances. You have a woman who's seeing demons who just runs down an entire city street of people.
Yeah, she mows down half of New York.
Right. But I think it was... I don't know, probably I think it was DC, or I don't know, it was some city. Then it jumps to another guy who's also seeing demons, and he's about to kill his entire family with a shotgun.
And not only that, but has his neighbors hung.
Oh yeah,
in his shed.
That was fucked up. Yeah, he just got his neighbors on hooks and wrapped up in plastic in his shed in the backyard.
Yep.
Damn, DC. And then it jumps to it's got another one. This another lady who's also seeing demons thinks she's giving birth to the devil and is about to drop her baby off a skyscraper. Like, shit, what the hell is like, that's not a nice way to set up your movie, DC. Like, shit. So yeah, like, this lady runs down an entire city block of people and like crashed into a fire hydrant, and Wonder Woman comes out to see her.
I felt that whole part, everything was so out of character for all those characters.
Oh no,
because it like, Wonder Woman had no remorse when this lady's like begging her to help her. Like, even if she was psychotic and not seeing demons, I feel like she should have been like a little worried, a little upset, but she was so fucking angry at that person.
Yeah. And then the next scene, like, Superman is exactly the same way. Like, this man who is obviously delusional, he's either actually seeing demons or he has some kind of mental problem, and he's about to kill his family, and he's telling Superman that he's seeing demons, and Superman just like glares at him and is like, "What have you done?" Because he like tells Superman, is like, "Go look in the shed. I had to kill all the demons in there." And he goes and sees all the fucking dead bodies in his shed. And Superman's like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" And it's like, this man is clearly disturbed.
Well, like, with the lady, Wonder Woman's like, "The only monster I see here is you." And it's like, I know. Fuck, that's so messed up, Wonder Woman. Right. And then, like, Batman's
pretty in character, but
it was in character until the lady killed herself. I feel like he should have seen that.
Yeah, Batman, like, gets the woman to give Batman the baby so she doesn't drop it off a building, and then while he's preoccupied with the baby, she jumps off.
She fucking throws the baby off the roof, and then he goes and saves it. But after he's perched, looking cool and, like, making sure Batman. The baby's cool, and then the lady instantly falls off and dies.
No,
and
that's right.
It feels like he should have been the first person to notice that.
Come on, Batman, you're better than this.
Yeah.
But then it's such a fucking 180, because in literally the next scene, they're in the Hall of Justice with the Justice League, and Wonder Woman and Superman are giving a PowerPoint presentation about, like, well, we think there might be, like, all these people say that they're seeing demons, and there's all these violent things going around the world, people saying they're seeing demons causing them to be violent. Maybe it's a magic thing. It's like, you guys weren't too remorseful a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, I didn't care
and then I know, and then it's like so fucking weird because, like, they bring up the fact that, oh, this might be a supernatural thing, and Batman just scoffs at it, and they're like, dude, we fought all these magic villains. Fucking Shazam has magic powers, and you're not like saying magic might be a factor here. And Batman's basically just saying, it's like, crazy people don't need magic as an excuse. And he's like, God damn, Batman.
Yeah, that was kind of
so
weird.
That's the one thing. I just want to get this out of the way ahead of time. Batman does not need to be in this movie at all. He is just there because they would not sell this movie otherwise.
Yeah, Constantine and Zatanna, they're not really moneymakers in the DC universe.
Right. Like, the DC nerds are going to watch that because they like, oh, cool, Constantine, Zatanna, and all these other guys. They're finally getting a movie about them. But normie people picking this up off the shelf, they're going to see Batman splashed on the cover. He's front and center on the cover. And they're like, oh, this is a Batman movie. Let's watch it or whatever.
Even if you think about it, if you put Superman on the cover, I don't think it would have that big of a selling point either. I think Batman is DC's biggest character.
He's their cash cow. But, like, over half of Batman's dialogue in this movie are just reactionary grunts.
Or just one-liners that are fucking retarded.
Right. Like, fuck. What part of the movie was it? Where they're just standing around talking, and all the time Batman is just staring at it going,
I don't remember. That's the whole movie.
I think it's in the hospital where they're just doing shit, and Batman just stares at them and grunts.
The inception into people,
more or less.
So I think we should just give an overall generalization of what the movie was and then
Yeah.
pick it apart.
Basically, this movie's about all these people are seeing demons, and they Batman is led to he needs to go find John Constantine because he's like the DC universe's resident magic expert, I guess now. So he has to go talk to Zatanna because he's the only magic person he knows, and she meets up with Deadman, who they got to go meet Constantine, and Constantine is friends with the guy who embodies Etrigan the demon,
Jason
Blood. And so they go to Constantine's spooky ghost house that he lives in, I guess, the House of Mystery.
They go to the TARDIS.
Basically. And they go on this big hunt to figure out like what's going on with the demons and stuff, and they go fight Felix Faust, and turns out it's some fucking evil knight guy from Etrigan's past that's coming back to life or something.
Fucking Mumra.
Basically. It's all really convoluted. It's a lot of I mean, and another good portion of this movie is just people saying how much they hate John Constantine.
Yeah.
Like almost every character gets a line about how much John Constantine is an asshole.
And then they have a big showdown with Mumra in whatever fucking city they're at.
Sure.
And then that was basically the whole movie.
Basically. So yeah. I do want to go down the cast list a little bit here, just because there's some notable people. You got Jason O'Mara back as Batman, who's been Batman in the last couple, like this new continuity of DC movies, and I think he was Batman on Young Justice too.
I don't understand why they do that, because like they have this whole fan base that loves, isn't it Kevin Conroy, or whatever. You have these people that love him as Batman, and then you're like, well, time for another person.
Yeah. I mean, they got Conroy back for Justice League Action, which we've watched a good chunk of what's been out for that show, and it's actually pretty good.
I like it. It's fun. But they got him and Hamill back, and that's what everybody, like, fan-wise wants.
It's really weird because Hamill's really not in the show that much. I think he's been in, like, maybe 2 episodes so far. But Batman's in, like, every fucking episode, though.
Well, yeah. He's a selling point.
Right. Rosario Dawson's back as Wonder Woman, but she's in the movie for like fucking 5 minutes of this thing.
And she has like 3 lines of dialogue.
Yeah, she's like 3 to 5 lines of dialogue, and she's out of the movie. Alfred Molina was the bad guy, Destiny. I did not realize.
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
He was Doc Ock in the second Spider-Man movie.
That's right. Okay.
Who else is in here? We got our girl Colleen, who we interviewed back in the day. She was Orchid, which I did not recognize her as that until I saw it in the credits. And the thing I wanted to talk about is that they got Matt Ryan to come back as Constantine, because he was Constantine in the live action show on NBC a couple years ago, which I'm still really bummed out that got canceled, because I was really enjoying that. But I guess they're bringing it back as an animated shorts show.
Was it any good? I figured it would be like Supernatural, like a watered down version of that.
I mean, I liked it. It was like this big overall like mystery with demons and stuff. I think he was a really good Constantine. I mean, the only thing I have to compare it to is fucking Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I was gonna say better than Keanu.
Oh, it's much better. It's very much in character with what little I've read of, Constantine comics. But no, the CW is gonna make, because they've been doing a shorts series with Vixen for the last year or so, and I think they're going to give Constantine the same kind of animated treatment.
I thought they was it BET was doing like Black Panther or something, like
I think
a Black Panther show. I thought she was on there.
Oh no, Black Panther is Marvel, Vixen's DC.
That's right. I'm an idiot.
It's all good. No, I do like that they got the same actor back to voice Constantine in this, because I think he makes a really good Constantine, even though in this movie they really played up his Britishness.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, this is probably written by a person who thinks they know what British people sound like.
Yeah.
Because, like you were saying before we started recording, like, he says bloody every few seconds. He says he says mate at the end of every sentence.
Uses oi, love.
Right. I mean, it was kind of funny because I was watching Justice League Action in the first episode that he's in, because they're really pushing for Constantine to be popular now. But it was funny. The first episode he's in of Action, he's like speaking super British and like British slang terms that no one understands, and Batman just says he got affected by some like accent enhancer spell on accident a while back. So the entire episode he's just shooting out British slang terms and no one understands what he's saying. See, that's fine because you're poking fun at it, but it's like in this version it's like, oh, this is like very much an American's view on how British people sound, and the British person recording didn't bother to correct them. But yeah, so there's a whole lot of plot holes that I feel like there's in this movie, or like just things that don't make sense.
Well, my whole thing was like with the whole hospital scene, Deadman kept jumping into people and then they would die and then he would jump into someone else, and it's like, what? Like,
yeah,
you have these superheroes and there was such a high body count in the fucking movie, and it makes you feel like they're useless in a sense, like they're not doing their job.
That's another thing where I think they're making use of being an R-rated movie, is because like, oh, we can kill people off, so we're going to. But yeah, like Deadman doesn't really become useful to like the very last part of the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's fucking talk about that hospital scene, because the most fucking random thing happens. So, the guy who's gonna kill his family has been hospitalized. So they sneak into the hospital, and Constantine's his hand to like mind meld with him or something, so they can see his memories, so they can see like why he went crazy.
I just love how every memory is just super fucked up.
I know, like, apparently he was, like, an alcoholic, and he was an abusive father and husband, and it's like, yeah, this guy was kind of an asshole.
Then it shows his dad was an abusive asshole to him and everybody.
Right. So that makes it okay. But, like, they're gonna they find out some fucking shadow demon is, like, affecting him, making him go crazy. But all the while this is going on, while Constantine and Zatanna are inside this guy's head, some dark force bubbles up shit from a toilet that turns into this giant fucking shit monster.
This giant acidic shit monster.
That just fucking like absorbs and dissolves people like the Blob.
Yeah. It's just like fucking skeletons afterwards.
Right. It's fucked up. And I'm fine with like a blob monster who just eats people. The fact that it's literally a giant monster made out of shit.
Yeah.
It's a giant poop monster.
And then,
like, who thought about that?
I just didn't like that it killed so many people, and like Deadman was the cause of so many people dying because he basically used them.
Yeah, he was like, and it didn't make any sense because he's like, okay, so the first person he jumps into, because there's a nurse that comes in to the guy's hospital room, and she's like, oh shit, I'm gonna go tell people that you're here because they fucking snuck into the hospital. So Deadman jumps into her. She's like, okay, I'm gonna make sure she doesn't tattle on you guys. But then, like, while the shit monster's running around, he's basically just body hopping, like he's trying to get away from it. It's like, dude, you're fucking dead. You're a ghost. You could just stand there. It's not gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
At least try to move these people out of the way or something. But no, you're like, as soon as the shit monster gets too close to one of the bodies in it, he just jumps to another person.
He's like, oh shit, I can't phase through this door because there's a door here. Better phase out and go through the door while the guy gets eaten on the other side.
I know, and he watches it too, because he like watches the guy like clawing at the door, and the shit monster just eats him.
And can't he phase people? Like, if he was inside someone, I think he can phase people through stuff as well.
I don't know how Danny Phantom he is.
How? Well, I think he can do that. I swear I've seen that before,
I'm not.
but
Yeah.
it bothered me a lot that so many people died, and they're just like, oh well, oopsie doodles. You're
Yeah.
dead. You're a skeleton now.
Yeah. And then they have to like. Then they have to go. They're trying to find. I forget exactly why. I watched this. I was really tired last night. But they're like, okay, we need to find this Felix Faust guy because apparently he might be like behind everything.
Well, after that, it was just Batman killed it with electricity, which was so fucking stupid too.
Right.
And they had to escape. They had to escape the Inception mind melding thing.
Right.
But didn't they rescue him at least? They rescued that guy for no reason, and then he's never seen again.
Nope. Yep. Oh yeah, we forgot to talk about Magical Cancer Man.
Oh. When I heard him, I was like, is that Owen Wilson? And then I had to look it up, and it wasn't Owen Wilson, which made me depressed.
they couldn't afford Owen Wilson.
It sounded like him at first.
Yeah. So like they're trying to figure out like what the hell's going on with all this magic stuff. So like Constantine like says, "Oh hey, let's go visit this old friend who hates me or whatever." I guess something happened in their past because they keep mentioning like they fucked up something and this guy got magic cancer from it.
You brought that up and I just started laughing. So fucking stupid. You have to use magical chemo to get rid of magic cancer? Like, what the fuck?
Yes. He was like, how do you get magic cancer? Like, how does that work?
Being overexposed to magic radiation?
I guess. But no, he's like being constantly haunted by like these death shrouds or whatever that are like just waiting for him to die from cancer so they can take him to hell.
What's the word for it?
What?
It's either Harry Potter or fucking
Lord
of the Rings.
The Death Eaters?
It's either that. What was it in Lord of the Rings?
The Ring Wraiths?
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
I mean, basically, there's these weirdo, shadowy, smoky, hooded things that are just waiting outside his door, waiting for him to die so they can take him to hell.
Yeah.
So they find this guy, and they're trying to get an artifact from him so they can, like, figure out, well, it happens magic stuff, and he basically tells them to fuck off because he hates Constantine because they need to keep driving that home that Constantine is an asshole and nobody likes him, but he's good at what he does, I guess.
I thought he was like super cool with something, and then like one thing happened and he's like, I'm not cool.
Well, because he was like, they show up at his door and he's trying to make peace with it. Because he thought Constantine was coming there to apologize for some shitty thing he did. And he's like, well, you're forgiven now. It's like, and then he's like, wait a minute, you didn't come here to apologize at all, did you? And he's like, nope.
Oh, because he's all like, you're Batman. It's an honor, Mr.
I know,
Batman.
he keeps going on about how fucking Batman is so cool. Because it's like, yeah, we need someone in this movie to tell us how cool Batman is, I guess. Who literally does nothing in this scene other than like, when he basically tells Constantine to fuck off, Batman's like, no, this is very important. You need to give him whatever he's asking for because it's going to save lives. Even though, Batman, you've saved no lives up to this point.
They only saved the one guy from the hospital.
Right. But, so the cancer guy almost dies, and then they have to take him to the house.
And then they Pulp Fiction him.
Basically. Also, the house is alive. So the fucking House of Mystery decides it wants a human body that Constantine just like, oh, hey, by the way, that's a thing that happened. Because, like, this fucking purple chick just walks out of nowhere. Constantine's like, oh, yeah, hey, the house wanted to experience human life, so it gave itself a physical body, I guess.
And then they're like, you're fucking it, aren't you? Like, they gave something like that.
They showed that Deadman wants to fuck it.
Well, no, when the purple girl came out, he's like, he gave that line, oh, well, she just wanted to experience life, and then they're like, of course she did, or something like that, where it's like, you're fucking her.
Right. But no, she's taking care of she's taking care of Cancer Man while he's out cold from almost dying. They figure out they need to go get Felix Faust, who's this fucking magic guy that I guess the Justice League has fought before. He was on the Justice League cartoon before.
That thing kind of pissed me off because it's like, I don't know why they do this anymore, but he had to spout off some fucking misogynistic shit. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, okay, he's a bad guy. Now we can really beat him up. Well, and that just came off really forced to me.
Yeah. Well, before that, like, they're like, okay, we can't locate Felix Faust because his like fucking castle fortress is like shrouded or hidden or whatever. But we know this one person who can find him for some reason. For reasons that are never explained why he could find him, but they gotta go talk to Swamp Thing. Yeah. And he's like, all right, they find Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing also hates John Constantine for some reason. That's never really fully explained. But they convince Swamp Thing to take them to Felix Faust's castle. And they're like, hey, Swamp Thing, we could really use your help fighting this guy. And he's like, nope, and he pieces out. And you don't see him till the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with Felix Faust is fucking pointless, and they even say it was pointless.
Yeah, the whole fight took up like a good 15 minutes, and then nothing happened.
Well, no, because it's like, yeah, the fight takes up a good 10-15 minutes of this movie, and then at the end of the fight, they're like, this isn't the guy we're looking for. It's like, okay. Well, you could have just asked him about that before fighting him, but, you know.
It was like, Zatanna comes, and she's about to say something, and he's like, I'm a bad man, and women can't speak in my room, because women are dumb. And
right, yeah, it was like...
She, beats him up, and she's about to fucking kill him, and that just felt so forced.
No, it was definitely written as, like, oh, hey, we need to make him, like, a really misogynistic asshole to make it, like, to justify beating his ass.
Yeah, but she was going to fucking kill him. And it's like, he wanted to read his fucking book. That's all he wanted to do. And then these assholes come in and beat the shit out of him and point a giant sword in his face.
Because that's the thing. It's like, he's just minding his own business. Yeah, he's a bad guy, but he was sitting there minding his own business. And they bust into his house and start wrecking his shit. Of course he's going to fight back.
Yeah.
What you think would happen?
He wanted to read his old-timey porn.
Right? So it's like, whatever. And so, yeah, they have that whole fight with Felix Faust, and they're like, hey, this fucking ring that, I guess, turned this guy crazy earlier, they were asking him about it. It's like, I don't fucking know. I've got like 1 million rings.
Yeah.
So they just like, and they figure out, it's like, oh, Felix isn't the guy.
He's not the droid we're looking for. And
basically.
Just leave.
And then they find out that, oh, hey, this night guy from Etrigan's past is the guy who's fucking turning everybody crazy because he's coming back to life, I guess.
I kind of don't like that, because if you figure the whole period time or whatever, nights, whatever, the guy's name is Jason. It's like, were there knights named Jason? Isn't that kind of a newer name?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's another thing that I feel was really kind of ham-fisted into this thing, where they were trying to tell you Deadman and Etrigan's origin stories. But those are the only two that got origin stories in this movie.
Yeah, they didn't bother with Swamp Thing at all.
Well, Swamp Thing's only in the movie for like 5 minutes, but he's on the cover for some reason. But no, for like Deadman, they're like on the way to the house of mystery, and they're just in the car. And Zatanna's like trying, because Batman can't see Deadman right now because he doesn't have the magic in him yet, I guess. But no, Constantine has to do something like this magic spell so that Batman can see Deadman. But they're in the car, and like Zatanna has to have to like talk for both of them because like Batman can't hear Deadman, but she just starts spouting off his Deadman's entire origin story for Batman because like he
Batman
cares.
The thing was, Batman heard of him already because he's like, oh, he's heard of me, but then she explains it.
I know, because it's like, I felt like she was trying to like give a brief thing and like, oh, this is what Deadman does. Then she just launches into his entire backstory, like, oh hey, he was a circus performer and he was kind of a flirt, and then some guy killed him, and this fucking god decided she was gonna save him and become a ghost man. And then Etrigan's was so fucking random too, because they like just launch into this thing like, oh hey, Etrigan's like 500 years old and he used to be a knight, and then fucking Merlin fused him with the demon man to save his life, and
he's best friends with Merlin. They hung out and did shit. And then he had this demon too.
That's another funny thing in the Justice League Action show, which, by the way, Justice League Action really loves the magic characters, because like fucking Constantine and Etrigan and Zatanna show up all the time.
Well, I remember,
and fucking Swamp Thing does too.
Well, I remember Brave and the Bold had Deadman. He was a part of it a couple times. I don't remember if Zatanna. I don't think she was in there. Constantine for sure not.
I did. Yeah, Constantine's like been a recent like. I feel like comics like to every couple years they'll just pick one random like D-list character and say, okay, we're gonna make them popular. Like a couple of years ago,
Guardians of the
Galaxy, and DC was trying to make I think they're still trying to make Deadshot popular. But Constantine's another one they're really trying to push now. But like in action, like I think they have like 20 episodes right now, but then there's been like at least 5 or 6 episodes that have Zatanna, Etrigan, Constantine, and Swamp Thing in it.
Etrigan was a part of Brave and the Bold too, and he was fun.
Yeah, he was cool, and I think he was in Justice League Unlimited too. But the reason I brought this up, because there was an episode that pretty much every time Etrigan comes on, he just starts screaming Merlin at the sky, and then this fucking ghost face of Merlin shows up and gives him what he wants. Because he's like, I forget what the context. I think they were like fighting a demon Batmobile or something, because this fucking demon lord and hexed it. It's weird. It's weird out of context, but like Etrigan decides he also needs a car to fucking chase down the evil Batmobile, so he just yells at Merlin to make him a demon car.
And then Merlin turns into Zordon.
Basically Mufasa's his way into the sky. Basically, and he basically keeps telling, he's like, here, now leave me alone. Keeps telling Etrigan to fuck off, basically.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
That show's great. I love it. It's so it's basically they decided that the best parts of the superhero shows are the fights. So that's literally all the show is. It's just the fights. They'll just launch into some random thing. It's like, oh hey, these guys are fighting. Go. But anyway, back to the movie. The fucking Demon Lord Destiny guy that fought Jason Blood all those years ago comes back. Like you said, he Mum-Ra's himself.
He looked like Mum-Ra. Like from the newest Thundercats cartoon. He looked exactly like him. Because he's like a skeleton man half thing. I don't know.
Yeah. They had this big fight with this guy, and they're like, decide, oh hey, we should really call in Swamp Thing for this battle. So they call Swamp Thing, and he comes, and then he fucking dies.
Well, it was like, oh no, you stepped on the grass. I'm Swamp Thing now. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. It was something dumb like that. They said something about the green is in danger, and he got all autistically mad because green is his favorite color.
I guess.
And it's just dumb. They're like, alright, I'm gonna rip you apart. There's your human body.
Yeah, he like
Bye,
separates
bitch.
Yeah, he separates his dead human body from his swamp body, and fucking Swamp Thing dies. And there's no like after credits thing or some like end of movie thing where like, oh hey, Swamp Thing's actually fine. No, he's just fucking dead.
They fucking bury Jason Blood and they're like, fuck Swamp Thing.
Yeah, cause what happened? It was like someone did a spell and it separated.
Mum-Ra separated Swamp Thing in his body, and then he separated Etrigan and Jason Blood.
Right. So Etrigan and Jason are split now, and after they beat the Mum-Ra guy, like Jason's like, oh hey, by the way, that giant chest wound I had that you saved me from hundreds of years ago, oh hey, it's back now and I'm dying. Yeah. And then he just fucking dies on the street. They go bury him on a hillside.
He dies within like a span of 3 seconds. It was just like, oh.
Right. And so like I guess Etrigan's just walking around now by himself. and then they're like on the hillside burying Jason, and then Zatanna's like, oh hey, the Justice League asked me to join them, I'm gonna go do that, and they want you to come, Constantine. And he's like, what? And so they go join the Justice League, I guess.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was weird.
They buried Jason Blood in like England or some shit. It's like right by his village.
Yeah, where his village used to be.
But like, that was my problem. Literally nothing happened with Swamp Thing. He fucking sacrificed himself somehow.
Yeah.
And nobody fucking cared.
That's my biggest problem with this movie is Batman and Swamp Thing have no relevance to the plot in this movie. Batman is just there because we need to have Batman in this movie, and Swamp Thing is in 2 scenes and he dies in the second one. Yeah. It has no bearing on the plot, which pisses me off. It pisses me off because he's on the cover, and like Swamp Thing is like this big character. I thought he would like just go with them to like do the fight and whatever, but like nope, we're just gonna kill Swamp Thing off, I guess.
My other problem is they kept talking about, oh, people were seeing demons, and people were. Like, at that point, a cop's going crazy, he's shooting everybody, people were going crazy. What should we do? Let's call it the Justice League. Nothing wrong could happen with that. And then Green Lantern sees Batman as a demon. I'm like, well, that was fucking obvious.
Yeah, because, like, I guess whenever this Destiny guy gets close to a person, he, like, makes them see their worst nightmares, which I guess just everyone manifests demons, I guess.
Everybody sees demons with eyeball mouths.
The same demons.
Yeah.
No, but, like, Batman, like, or who calls the Justice League? Does Batman do it?
I don't think so. It was someone that was following them, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so the Justice League gets called in, and they're like, no, that's a bad idea, because if you get anywhere close to this guy, they're gonna start feeding fucking demons, and you're gonna have a giant superhero fight. So,
I don't even think they explained it. It just happened, didn't it?
No, they said that because they're like, I think Constantine says is like, no, don't bring them in here, or you're gonna have a giant superhero fight because they're gonna fucking go crazy when they get next to this guy. Yeah. That's what fucking happens because Green Lantern comes up and punches the guy, and he starts seeing fucking demons.
Yeah, it was just dumb to me. Like, I did like that Wonder Woman got tangled by her own lasso. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, like Zatanna just fucking takes Wonder Woman and Superman down like with relative ease.
I don't think she took Superman down, did she? She just stopped him from punching him.
Okay, that's another thing I didn't like about this final battle. Is like Superman is about to like fucking knock Batman's head clean off.
Yeah.
And like Zatanna stops him like inches from Batman's head, which by the way, it's not until Zatanna stops Superman did Batman even notice Superman was coming.
Yeah.
He just looks over like, oh shit.
He was a little clueless in this movie.
Yeah.
As far as the world's greatest detective thing.
Right. And then like Zatanna is out for the rest of the battle because she's holding Superman in place. You don't see her for the rest of the fight.
Well, that's true.
So it's like you're one girl character and you're making her sit the fight out because she has to hold Superman in place.
Well, she had to sit the fight out the second time because she was fucking Cinderella'd out or Snow White out. They had to protect her or whatever because she went supersonic. She went Goku on Faust because of his misogynistic talk. Right.
So, but I mean, I think what we're trying. Go ahead.
That is the thing about Superman, though, is that he is invulnerable to all this shit, but magic is like his weakness because he can't. Right. That's why, like, Captain Marvel is the better of the two because he's immune against magic.
He's Superman with magic.
Yeah.
But I think what we're the general gist of it. Oh, hey, my cat's here. The general gist of what we're saying here is like this movie has some pretty big issues with it. But I think before we wrap up here, like I do want to say, what I do like about the movie is that I think the voice cast, who they got for the characters, that's good. I liked how the characters, like, because they even, I think I would watch like a behind the scenes thing after the last animated movie they did, where they gave a preview of this movie. Like all the characters have like this kind of rune magic, so every time they do it, like this, like intricate pattern rune thing comes up when they do magic, and I thought that was kind of cool. And like all the other movies, it's well animated. It's got Phil Barassa, who did all the character designs for like Young Justice and all that, to come back and do the character designs for this, because I really like his art style.
So correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But that one movie that had Darkseid in it, which one was that?
That was Justice League War. That was the. I think that was the first one where they decided they were going to do a New 52 universe series of movies.
Okay, wasn't he in a protective bubble as well?
Honestly, it's been a while since I've seen that movie, but I would not doubt it. But I love the fucking Deadman even kind of makes a comment on Destiny being in a bubble, because Destiny's like shouting about how he's basically a god, and Deadman's like, why does a god need a force field?
Yeah, well, my problem with that was when he was fighting Jason Blood at the beginning, and he called out Etrigan. Etrigan was hitting his little force field, whatever, with one hit, and they were dissipating.
Yeah. Every
Every time he would hit that little shield thing, it would completely separate. But when he was fighting him as a demon, he kept hitting his little force field and nothing was happening. I'm like, the fuck? So why didn't he use that force field when he was, I don't know, when he wasn't Mum-Ra?
You got me, man. But yeah, I think all in all, I don't think this movie's bad. It's got some major issues. I mean, I think we made it sound, at least for me, I think we made it sound out a lot worse than it actually is. But I mean, if you just want to watch some magic DC characters just beat the shit out of each other, this movie's good for that.
I think it was a good movie. It's just, I do feel like a lot of characters acted out of character.
Yeah. And this movie's literally only like an hour and 15 minutes long, so it's not even like a full hour and a half movie. So even if it's like you don't end up liking it after watching it, you haven't really lost a whole lot of time. So
I watched it while I had breakfast. That was how quick it was.
I watched it while falling asleep on my couch last night.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's all good. But yeah, so yeah, Justice League Dark. It was all right. It's pretty good. It's on digital right now. I don't think it comes out on DVD for a couple more weeks. So if you want to check it out, if you're a big fan of DC and you like the magic characters like I do, or if you read the Justice League Dark comic book and want to see it in animated form, this is probably a good one to check out for you.
I'd say the movie was a hoot, but it wasn't a holler.
Is that what our scale is now?
Yeah.
It's like our 2 thumbs up. That's a 1 thumb.
Yeah, there we go.
I dig it. We'll implement that in the future episodes. But so yeah, that was our review of Justice League Dark. Come back next week where, as I say at every episode, I have no idea what we're doing. But it should be a fun time. But until then, Kyle, do you have any parting words of wisdom for the nice people?
Not really.
Okay, good enough for me. All right, everybody. We will catch you next week. Yeah, so we'll see you. Bye.
Yeah, bye.